So giant ragweed is a native to North America. Historically, it inhabited river bottoms and that type of area. Now it's been increasingly being found in agricultural settings. It does tend to be a very early emerging weed. Most of it comes up by June 1st. And then it does tend to be difficult to control with pre-emerge herbicides for a couple of reasons. One is it does emerge very early, and then it also is a very large seeded weed, allowing it to emerge from very deep within the soil, sometimes emerging up to 4 inches below the soil surface. It has developed resistance to multiple herbicides, both ALS and glyphosate herbicide chemistries in the same population, and these resistant biotypes now are becoming widespread across Minnesota and the rest of the Midwest. So with these resistant biotypes of giant ragweed developing, we may have to look at more alternative types of weed management practices. So some of my research has looked at some of these resistant populations of giant ragweed. We're focusing on 3 different areas of giant ragweed biology. So the first is we're looking at giant ragweed seed bank depletion. So looking at how 6 different crop rotations common to the Midwest differentially deplete that seed bank over the course of 3 years. So we're looking at continuous corn-soybean rotations, looking at incorporating wheat, and then also looking at how alfalfa in a rotation affects the seed bank depletion, and then also looking at how these different crops affects the emergence patterns of giant ragweed. And then finally, the third is looking at seed production of giant ragweed. So looking at when giant ragweed actually produces viable seed, as well as when that seed is falling off those plants naturally. So for instance, giant ragweed's pollinating in Minnesota the first part of August. That seed begins to develop, tends to produce viable seed by the time September rolls around, and then that seed begins to fall off those plants starting in September and continues through the months of October as well. So for that, we have been studying when that seed is actually falling off of those plants and monitoring that over the course of this fall season to see how some of these alternative practices, such as targeting those weed seed inputs, can actually be used to target giant ragweed control and manage that seed bank in the long run.